Hello, my snowpack. Welcome back. I just wanted to say please like, subscribe, and share this video. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers, and please share it with everyone you know on your TikTok, your Instagram, whatever you have, because I'm trying to get this to EJ, Rayami, and Audra Nooney, and I'm not really big into social media. I don't have that many followers. I'm just starting this, so I don't know if it will ever get to them. But I just wanted to say thank you to them because during this past year, I've been going through a lot of health issues with trying to get diagnosed with epilepsy because I had viral encephalitis, and I realized that it got to the point where I had to give up my job because the seizures were affecting me so bad. And after doing research and stuff, I realized that for a long time I didn't really know what seizures were because I just thought they were the tonic-clonic type, like when you see on TV when people pass out and they shake and all that. I thought that's what a seizure was. And so I was like, well, I've never had seizures after the viral encephalitis. That was years ago. But I realized that seizures can be very brief. It can be like what happens to me sometimes when my whole body has such a violent jerk, like when I'm laying down or about to go to sleep, that I bite my tongue, or it changes my position in bed or something, or it could be something I see or something I smell and I know that it's not really there. Like there have been times when I've seen my hands be green. I call them witch hands, or werewolf hands, where I literally see these hands, these fingers, as having brown fur on them. And I know obviously they don't because I just showed them to you. And there can be lots of other things that it is. Sometimes I smell things and nobody else smells what I smell, or I hear things and nobody else hears those things. Like sometimes when I'm just about to go to sleep, I think I hear my son, and so I actually talk to him, and then I realize he's at his dad. So it can be a lot of things like that. And I just really wanted to thank the girls of Huntrix because sorry. Sorry, guys. Because this has been it's been one of the hardest years of my life. I lost everything. I, I had to, I had to, sorry guys, this is so emotional for me. I had to give up a job that I loved in home health as a CODA, a certified occupational therapy assistant because I love helping people, and I had to give it up because I couldn't risk having a seizure and being at someone's house where it was maybe just the two of us, because if I had a seizure and the person was bedbound, they might not be able to get help for me. And I can't drive at the moment because in Washington State, where I live, you have to be 6 months seizure free, and they're still working on getting my seizures under control, so I can't drive. And even if I could, for the first time in my life, I have to get medical papers. I have to get my epileptologist to sign off that my epilepsy is under control before I can even renew my driver's license. And it's a diagnosis that comes with a lot of relief, because now that I know, I can be working on getting it under control, and that's great, but it's something I've had to fight for, because when I didn't know what epilepsy really was, everyone I saw was discounting my medical history, because if you have had viral encephalitis like me, then you almost certainly get epilepsy, because it leaves scars even if you can't see that on an MRI, and you have a pre-existing condition then that makes it really likely that you will get epilepsy. But doctors were discounting my lived history. They were telling me that I probably didn't even have that in the first place, even though it was documented. And I went into status epilepticus back then too, which, in case you guys don't know, status epilepticus is when you have a seizure that's more than 5 minutes, or if you have 2 seizures without regaining consciousness in between them. I was having a seizure for over 6 hours that they could not stop, and they had to put me in a medically induced coma, because if they didn't, my brain would fry itself. And I've been fighting for this diagnosis when I knew that's what it was, and people were rejecting it. They were saying, no, that's not what it is, because they had me in a box and they couldn't see what I was living, and they told me that they couldn't see on the EEG that I was having any seizures, so I didn't have epilepsy, that it might be non-epileptic seizures or psychogenic seizures, as they call it, or PNES or NES, because a lot of times when I had the EEG, it's a very brief snapshot, and sometimes my seizures are very brief, and they happen in an area of my brain that is deep down. And I even heard a doctor say when I was in the epilepsy monitoring unit that if you have focal epilepsy, which is what I have, that you'll never see it on an EEG. And this was discouraging to me, because they were saying I don't have seizures, I don't have epilepsy, and they were going to take me off my epilepsy medication. But then I heard EJ saying rejection is redirection. And that meant so much to me, because I said, you know what? She's right. all this rejection of these people when they say, oh, I don't even think you had viral encephalitis. I don't think you, even though it's documented, they were saying that. I kept those words in my heart, and I kept praying because I'm a Christian. And when it was just like, oh, I'm F, nobody believes me, what am I gonna do? I just kept that in my mind. Rejection is redirection. And so that's what I did when I got rejected. I redirected my efforts. I redirected myself to different doctors. And it's not easy because once they put in your chart that, oh, you have NES or whatever, then everybody after that looks at that and they don't even really listen to you. But I kept those words in my heart. And this is how I K-pop demon hunters. I have fire in my heart, and I keep those words in my heart that rejection is redirection. And I just think of the song Golden, and I think, you know what, my time to shine is coming. I don't have to be afraid. And I think of the song where she was revealing her demon marks, and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm revealing my scars too. They may not be scars that you can see, but I'm letting them be seen in a way. And I broke into a million pieces and I couldn't go back. But I did find the beauty in the broken glass. And now, just like her, my scars are part of me. Darkness and harmony. And in a way, I was kind of like a demon hunter, hunting down all those demons of those people who didn't listen to me. And I listened to those demons and I let them come between me and my own sanity, thinking for a while even, maybe I don't have epilepsy, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm the crazy one for chasing this. And then I said, you know what? No, I know that I have this. I know what it is. And I thought, you know, this epilepsy came at a bad time, but now it crossed the line. I want to get wild? Okay, I'll show you wild. And I kept these songs in my heart, and I kept the words in my heart to motivate me and to keep me going when my life felt crappy. And when it felt like one thing after another was just piling on me. And when it felt like nobody was ever going to listen to me. Like I would live my whole life having epilepsy and even dying from it because no one would help me and no one would believe me. And being scared that there would just come a point where I either died from SUDEP, from sudden unexplained death and epilepsy, and I just died in my sleep because they took me off my meds, or I had a tonic-clonic seizure and went into status again, and my brain just fried itself because they took me off all my meds. And for a while, it seemed like I was going down that road, that was the life I was doomed to live, because no one was believing me, and no one was doing anything about it. But the most important words I kept in my heart was rejection is redirection. because I got rejected at every corner, and every time it seemed like I was making progress, the rejection came again. And I know EJ feels what that's like. 'Cause every time she made progress or she thought she was gonna make something of herself, she was rejected. And look at how humiliating it must be for all those people who rejected her now. Look at what she's become now. She's the goddess of K-pop now and just has done so many amazing things in her life. And because I kept trying, because I kept those words in my heart, and I said I'm not giving up, I'm redirecting my efforts, I now have somebody, an epileptologist, who finally believed me. I now have somebody who's finally changing my anti-seizure meds and adding more to it. I'm finally having those work so that my seizures are less severe. I did have one just the other day, but usually when I have those types of catamenial seizures, my hands get locked up like this, and I can't move them. They get stuck like this, and they literally will not move, and it's very painful, and it has a long recovery time after that, where I can't not go to sleep. And if you don't know what that is called, it's called the post-ictal, after you have a seizure. And usually when you have a big seizure and you're post-ictal, it is very tiring, and so a lot of times you just go to sleep. It's like your brain ran through a marathon, and so you have to sleep. And I'm happy to report that this last one I have, my hands didn't do that. It wasn't as nearly as long as it usually is, and I wasn't super post-ictal. I didn't have to go right to sleep like I normally do. I went to sleep at the normal time I go to bed. There's still a lot of things to be worked on, and obviously every time I have a seizure, that restarts my clock. But I just want to say thank you to EJ, Ray, and Audrey Nuna. I think I called her Audrey Nooney before. I'm sorry, Audrey. I just wanted to say thanks to all of them, because a lot of times when the world felt sucky, I listened to their songs and it gave me hope, and actually it helped calm me down, and I still do it for that reason. When I feel like a seizure is coming, when I'm having an aura, which is the beginning of a seizure, a lot of times I just put their music on, and it helps calm me down, and it helps my brain calm down so that it doesn't blow up into more. Because anytime you have an aura, or even if you have like a small seizure, a focal seizure, I think they used to call that a petite mal. Anytime you have seizures like that, it has the potential to turn into a tonic-clonic seizure, or what they call a grand mal, or mal. I'm pretty sure it's mal, M-A-L. So anytime you have a seizure, even if it seems small, or it seems like it's only affecting one part of your brain, it pretty much always has the potential to generalize, and that means it takes over all of your brain. That's what a tonic-clonic seizure is. It's when it takes over your entire brain, and that's why people lose consciousness, because it's just overwhelmed the brain basically. And I'm not an expert, so don't think that I am, but that's my understanding of things. So whenever I have something like that, I put on K-pop Demon Hunters, and it helps to calm me down, and it's how I center myself, and it's what I listen to, and it brings me joy. It makes me happy. It fills my heart when days are really hard, and I can't wait until K-pop Demon Hunters 2 comes out, but I just want to thank them. Because without their music and their kind words to their fans, to people that struggle, no matter what the struggle is, my life wouldn't be where it is today. There's still things to fix. I still need a job. I need to be able to support my son and pay for my bills. And I don't have that yet. And I still need to get the seizures under control. And I still don't have that yet, 100%. But I'm closer than I ever was. And I really thank God for that. And I thank Him for making each one of them and for their help and giving me hope and giving me the strength and the will to not give up and to push through and to redirect my efforts into something that's actually gonna be helpful. Sorry, I gotta plug in my phone. And they did that for me, and I got their posters all over my walls and up there and down there and over there and over there. You probably can't see them, but they're over there too. And I just ask all my subscribers to share this video because I really want it to get to them. I really hope that someday they will know my thanks and know how much they've helped me in my life. So my snowpack, if you can share this video and let's try and get it out to them. And I want to hear how you K-pop Demon Hunters. How do you K-pop Demon Hunters? How do you hunt tricks? How do you Saja Boys? Do you make the world a better place, or do you make it a worse place like the Saja Boys? Even, I'm just kidding, they don't really all make it a bad place. But I would love to know in the comments or something, how do you K-pop Demon Hunters? And I don't know if anyone has used this as like a verb before, but if not, let's start this movement. How do you K-pop Demon Hunters? When the world feels crappy and it feels like you have to hide yourself and you have to be shamed and you have to be the image that people think you should be, how do you break out of that? How do you be comfortable in your own skin? How do you golden so you know that it's your time to shine? How do you K-pop Demon Hunters? How do you get outside of the box, not give up? How do you let rejection be redirection? How do you let the world see your scars? How do you be proud of your scars, whatever they are? Tell me in the comments below. How do you K-pop Demon Hunters? Thanks for watching, guys. Sorry about all my moments of crying, but that's really emotional for me. And I really hope that this video somehow gets to them, because I really want them to know how thankful I am for each of them. So please, please, please like, subscribe, share it, and help me make that a possibility so that they can know how much they have really touched my lives. I would love to meet them someday. I would be so honored to do that. But if you guys can help me get this message to them, I can die happy if they know that I'm so thankful for them. And anywhere I go in my life, geographically, like anywhere I physically go, I will bring their music with me and I will listen to it proudly So there will be not a place on the planet, I bet, where this music hasn't been shared and hasn't rung out. Thank you guys again. I hope this can get out to them. And let me know in the comments below, how do you K-pop demon hunters? What does K-pop demon hunters mean for you? Let's start the movement and use it as a verb. How do you K-pop demon hunters? Bye guys.